Another day is going by. I'm thinking about you all the time, but you're out there and I'm here waiting. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with the VeVe, OMI, DEFFINITY, DEVVE, daCat update video. FIAS as well, guys. If you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, especially that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. We got a little bit of a show tonight. Largest. Oh my God. There was a beast of a drug raid that FBI and ICE did. 500 million in cash. What the crap? I wonder if Mario Nawfal's got anything to say about this. You know, we'll get into it because we got a lot of stuff going on here today. We've got VeVe getting more users. We got big sales, OMI, DEFFINITY. Okay, all of that. Coinbase Premium Index just hit its highest positive reading since Bitcoin was at 110,000. It was a few weeks ago that we were at the Fear and Greed Index was at 5, and now we're at 23. So things are looking up a little bit. It seems that it was Trump or Hegseth, one of them saying that the Iran war is going to be over in a couple of weeks. And oil had gone from like 120 down to 80. It creeped back over 100. And but in that time, I don't think that the markets would have reacted that way unless there was a hint of truth in that. And if it is true that it's only going to take a couple more weeks, then we're good. Then we're good. It's like, okay, cool. Don't really need to worry. It's only if it's going to be a lot longer than that. And I mean, we all remember how Iraq and Afghanistan went. It took them forever, trillions of dollars, thousands of American lives. I don't think that was a fair trade-off. The 3,000 that were killed on 9/11. Anyway, this is just me talking here. Financially, how is this going to impact VeVe, OMI, DEVVE, etc.? Again, it's all of crypto. I think that as long as there's an off-ramp for this, Trump has a path in order to make these markets go burr, printers go burr, everything goes up, as long as he has a path for that, which we're not sure he does. He says he does, and we hope he does, but again, not 100% sure. I wanted to see if there was anything in that ICE raid that somebody just sent to me. They're gaslighting their, let's get better results. Oh my God. Rock Blockchain says, saw somebody say that gaslighting their LLMs to get better results. Don't recommend that. I do not recommend that either. That is insane. Okay. Let's see what we got here today on the, not on the X, although we'll take that at some point. Let's do Ethereum. Ethereum was up 8% today, up to 2350. It was actually up a little bit higher at one point. 2373. It's at 2345 right now. Again, up 7.5% on the day. Pretty sweet day for it. It did outperform Bitcoin. ETH was up 10% at one point. Bitcoin, I think, was up 5 at one point, down 2.5 or up 2.5% on the day. But ETH definitely outperformed today in a good shot, which is surprising because, yeah, Tom Lee's Bitmine had bought, I think, another $60 million worth of Ethereum, which is great, but not much compared to Michael Saylor's $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin that he had bought. So, remember in, what's that, Homeward Bound, Lost in San Francisco, where they're all, the logic and the animals are just like, yeah, well, there's the plane. We'll sit by the plane, and they'll see us and they'll stop. And then Sassy's like, they're not stopping. They're not stopping. They're not stopping. And then, because obviously they don't see them, hoping that was green screen. Anyway, no, it doesn't look like there's any plans of Michael Saylor stopping buying. Doesn't look like there's any plans of these ETFs that are going to stop buying. I think Saylor's got like 4% of all Bitcoin mined, which is 20 million Bitcoins that have been mined right now. The next million will take about 114 years, give or take. But everyone, I feel like, is assuming that, oh, yeah, 20 million Bitcoin out there right now. And yeah, that's what's been mined, but that's not exactly how many's out there. How many hundreds of thousands or millions are in wallets that are just dead? They lost the seed phrase, they lost the passcode. Or how many is in what's his name's wallet? Satoshi. How much is in his wallet? So I think a lot of people are operating on the idea that there's 20 million out there, but there's really probably like 10% less, maybe 18, maybe 17. Somebody, I assume, can give me a more accurate number. Obviously, dormant wallets, if they haven't been touched in 10 years, probably safe to assume that they're not going to be active anytime soon. Anyway, how does that affect OMI? Well, OMI's up 8% on the day, so shout out to that. They were actually up a little bit higher. Dude, OMI's been so volatile the last few days. Let's take a look at it. I was not here for a couple days, had a friend's B day. So on the 14th, we were down to 0000105. And yeah, we went down to the triple zeros. We actually touched there a couple more times over on the 16th. I'm sorry, the 15th. 16th, we did get back down to 00011. Oh, and today, actually today's the 16th. I'm gonna have to go back further than that. Okay, you see here on the 11th, 00010. On the 12th, 00010. So again, we do get down there a lot, but the low today, we were down to 00011. Yeah, we had a wicked, so 0000110. We go up and we touch 00013. Go back down to 00014 maybe. Back up 00012. It does seem to be a range. We do seem to be at the upper limit of that range. So this might also be a thing. We had a new article come out from Orange Cloud, which is, it came out a couple hours ago. Eight hours ago, give or take. So it is an update on Orange Cloud, which VeVe is supposedly going to own soon, or David and Dan are going to own them. They'll technically own VeVe. Anyway, let's go through it. Orange Cloud Technology Inc. and Intel Sync announced strategic partnership to drive AI-powered SME digital transformation across Malaysia. So this is going to be very localized here, where it's just going to be across Malaysia. How much of this is going to be affect VeVe? I mean, again, if David and Dan are going to own Orange Cloud, I assume they'll keep some of the operations as is, as normal, but then how much of that can go into doing what VeVe does? Anyway, Singapore, March 16th. Orange Cloud Technology, the Singapore-based technology company offering the eMobic no-code platform for the development of mobile applications and SaaS subscription-based ISV solutions. I don't like that they're mostly SaaS subscription-based. Anyway, today announced a strategic partnership with Intel Sync, SDN, BHD, an emerging Malaysian system integrator and workforce enablement company. Collaboration aims to accelerate digital transformation for Malaysia's small and medium enterprises by adopting Orange Cloud's eMobic AI app development platform. Through this alliance, Orange Cloud and Intel Sync will jointly enable Malaysian SMEs to design, develop, and deploy enterprise-grade application in significantly less time at a lower cost than with traditional development frameworks. I think they're real. I don't want to say shooting themselves in the foot, but small and medium enterprises, sure, great. But I really think that the large enterprises could do wonders with this as well. By leveraging eMobic AI's vibe coding environment, businesses can rapidly digitize operations, integrate systems, and innovate at scale without requiring deep programming expertise. In addition to the SME enablement, this partnership will also support Malaysia's national digital workforce agenda. Intel Sync and Orange Cloud are collaborating with the TVET institutions, polytechnics, and universities to train graduates in next-generation app development using eMobic AI. Also, be advised, this just in, Bitcoin's at $75,000. Let's go. This initiative is designed to build practical, job-ready skills and connect emerging digital talent with employment opportunities within the small and medium enterprise ecosystem, a sector that contributes nearly 40% to Malaysia's GDP. The partnership marks an important milestone in Orange Cloud's ongoing strategy to expand our footprint across high-growth Asian markets, said Stephen Chu, Group COO and IR Officer, Orange Cloud Technology. He says, by combining our AI-driven app with development technology with Intel Sync's reach and experience in SME digital enablement, we are unlocking new value for both businesses and the workforce. Linda Chan, Operations Director, Intel Sync, SDN, BHD, added, Our collaboration with Orange Cloud directly supports Malaysia's vision for a more connected, AI-driven economy. Together, we're helping SMEs leverage digital tools that will improve competitiveness while simultaneously empowering graduates to secure roles in the new digital economy. While we continue this, let's say hi to everyone. William Kiefer saying, let's go. Get the spread. Meow, meow, meow. Ben in Korea, thank you for being a member. Yeah. Children and Vibes, hey, Randy. Yo, what's going on, girl? Girl. Bogar says, what up? Yo, what up? Girl. Connor said, let's go. I call everyone girl. Felipe B, 1039 is only 3.5 months left for OMI to moon. I don't know why you would think OMI only has 3.5 months left to moon, and what are the consequences if it doesn't? Very strange, but I would love it if you could elaborate. Internet Hokage says 3.5 months, you say. I'm not sure why, but yeah, he did say that. What up, Randy? What's up, Internet Hokage? Ready to do that Internet Hokage jutsu. Fear and greed index has actually moved up to 28. So we were 5 a few weeks ago. We were 23 this morning, and now we're 28. Again, not 100% sure why. And again, OMI was up at, well, now it's at 7.5% today, but y'all know what I mean. Let's see what else we got here. The partnership further strengthens Orange Cloud's regional growth strategy and underscores the company's commitment to enabling scalable, cost-efficient digital transformation for enterprises of all sizes. It also positions Orange Cloud and Intel Sync as key contributors to the ASEAN's broader economic modernization through AI and automation technologies. And again, if David and Dan own these and they start getting lots of money, where can some of that money go to? Maybe to VeVe. This is about them, about Intercell, forward-looking statements. Okay, yeah, no, that was it. We're good. Nothing about VeVe. But I don't think there needs to be anything about VeVe because be advised, this actually did not do anything for the stock itself. It changed 0 today, but after hours, it was up almost 2%. Went from $1.04 to $1.06. So again, up almost 2% after that, which is nice. Damn, 75,313. What the heck? Is that like the year? No, it's not the yearly high. At least not for 2026 anyway. I don't know what that means. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's see what the Bitcoin's at. And let's see if we can. It did say 75.3 over on Market Watch, but on CoinMarketCap, I'm only seeing 75.2. I assume that takes the highest of where it was. Let's see where we got. Actually, on all of these, Binance, Coinbase, Upbit, Aster, OKX, it is saying like 74.9 on most of them. They might be a little bit behind, though. There's a 75.3. Where does it go from here? I don't know. Spaces tonight. No idea what's going to happen. Very good. Very good. All right. So that's from Orange Cloud. Again, as I don't know what David and Dan can do for Orange Cloud. I mean, I guess their contacts. That's the other thing. They know anyone David and Dan have wanted to meet in the world, they probably could have met over the last few years. So their Rolodex is huge, bigger than anyone else's that we would probably know, with the exception of maybe a couple of my guests that I've had on here. But yeah, they have a massive list of contacts, and anything that they think could benefit Orange Cloud, they'll do it. Why? Because it looks like they're going to own it soon. So that's probably why. Everyone comment down below if you think what they should do next. How can they incorporate them into VeVe? Now, all this being said, the last time we had an article about VeVe come out from Yahoo Finance about NASDAQ was almost 2 weeks ago. 13 days ago, where Orange Cloud Technology issues update on proposed merger with VeVe, saying that both sides are committed to it happening, but we haven't heard anything since. So maybe we get an update this week. Maybe we get an update next week. Maybe it fell through. I don't know. We're all still speculating here. Let's continue. Let's do FIAS, because FIAS had an interesting thing a couple of days ago. FIAS right now is flat on the day, up 0.15%, neither here nor there. $1.8 million market cap, 5,500 in volume. But where I want to take a look at is over on CoinGecko, because somebody, for whatever reason, had put in a very small liquidity pool, and that liquidity pool like spiked. And you see a couple days ago, it went to 2.2 cents. Now it's back to 1.8 cents. But over on, if you look over on Gecko Terminal, we never went anywhere close. We're still at like 1.454, because what CoinGecko does, it takes all liquidity pools and averages them out together. And when somebody made one that, it just took off, even though it's much, much smaller, it shouldn't really be that price. I don't actually know. I mean, I guess you could trade on that liquidity pool if you want, but on the main liquidity pool where there's almost $160,000 in liquidity, that is the price that most people use. So I just want people to go over that there. Tom did mention a couple of things. Can do it today, do it yesterday. Tom did give an update saying, I mentioned above, the partner seems to be being patient, which is good. I'll have more to show in the coming month and be in a better position to get them fully back on board. Keep in mind, we have new opportunities as well. For example, at the end of last year, we're creating both the testnet and the DEVVE ecosystem platform with the ability for users to immediately create applications and the ability for DevX to operate and add features dramatically more quickly. A new world opens up. Don't close your mind based on past hopes. When an even bigger, brighter future, I'm referring to DEVVE itself, not FIAS, is entirely possible as the system evolves. There's a bunch of stuff to go over there, and we'll get there, but that's just kind of a quick update for FIAS. What day do I have to go back to? Thursday? Go back to Thursday. All right. Couple meetings today, nothing bad, but my throat is giving me a little bit of an issue, so hopefully the water keeps it moist. Let me do Definity here. Again, not up any real percent, actually down 0.05% on the day. But let's take a look at what it says through CoinGecko. It goes up 2.5% on the day, 135 on one, 135 on the other. So depending on where you look, it'll look better or worse, but it does look to be the same price. 2,200 in volume over on the Gecko terminal. That's just in their Uniswap pool. If you want to go to their MEXC, which I don't know how much of that is actual real volume, 30,000 in volume over there. I'd say a couple grand at least is real. I don't know what, again, I just don't see this having 30K in volume right now. Again, just based on what Uniswap's doing. Now there's a couple of different pools. Like there's you can get it on PancakeSwap as well, but PancakeSwap had $275 in volume. There's another liquidity pool on there that has $400 in volume, and the price is pretty much the same thing, so it's not going to matter one way or the other. And let's go to DEVVE. We didn't take a look at that. Up 4.5%, almost 5% on the day, 4.2 cents, $3.7 million market cap. We'll get more into what they had this weekend in a minute here. This will be my last show before I go to. Sorry, I had a little bit traveled a bit this weekend. We have the OMI show tomorrow, which I didn't even put in my calendar yet. It's just been a couple of. Tomorrow, the afternoon will be busy. The Founders Roundtable's at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on there for a bit, probably 4:30 to 6, and then VeVe's Whatnot. VeVe will be live via Whatnot at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll hop in there, maybe buy a couple of things. We'll see. I'll buy a couple more things over on the VeVe app for y'all in a bit. Also, St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. Also, my friend Pixie's birthday, and have something else to do. It's a crazy, crazy weekend. Anyway, we'll leave from DEVVE. We'll go to daCat. Up about 4.5% on the day. Not bad. Not bad. $869,000 market cap. $250,000 in liquidity. We did it. Let's go. I love it. $123,000 in Ethereum, $123,000 in daCat. Love the heck out of that. We're going to need to take something else here. I don't have a ton of daCat. I want to get more, but a lot of the new funds that come in, I really want to go towards the IP, really go towards the comic, towards actually making revenues. So, you know, if certain things happen, which I think can happen in, I originally said March, it'll probably be April, where I'll get a decent paycheck. I'll buy a bunch of stuff, including daCat. I will DCA on DEVVE, Definity, OMI, FIAS, and daCat. Those are the ones I'll probably get. I won't put like a ton in each of them. I might just do like 10K total. Because honestly, a lot of what I bought recently has been VeVe stuff. And I was looking, so I didn't get this yet. There was somebody sent it to me. I'll share it with you guys right now. It's a rumor that VeVe no longer has any of the Disney licenses, which I think is really stupid, but there's a couple of reasons why I want to bring it up. It's by VeVe Newbie, who gives zero evidence to this. But let's hear him out. Let's play these dominoes out. It says, if I am right and VeVe has lost a license to any new Disney collectibles, would that make the ones that we already have on the app more valuable or less? Give me your honest thoughts. The reasons that he says, in the comments at least, why they don't have the license anymore is because the last Disney collectible drop was the second Stitch in June of 2025. Last Pixar drop was second Buzz in August 2025. He also mentions the last Star Wars first appearance collectible is the AT-AT, and I get that's the FA. If you think we have 0 FAs planned for May, I'm going to tell you we probably have 1 or 2 FAs planned for May. But also with Star Wars, it seems that he's kind of changing it here, where Stitch wasn't an FA, Buzz Lightyear was not an FA, and then suddenly he measures Star Wars as the last first appearance collectible we had was the AT-AT, but we've had, I don't know, half a dozen Star Wars drops after that, and one was like last week. I have a few. Let me show you. Yeah, like the last couple of collectibles I bought was from that drop. Like they're right there. What was the other one? Oh, I bought a single mount Cook gum stamp because it was like $1. So I was like, I'll grab one. And then obviously I have 4 Angs that I minted. But anyway, yeah, I have a few of those. And then down here further, hey, there's another one. Oh, hey, there's another. I'm not buying drops from like years ago. Hey, look, there's another trooper. Christmas tree, Pirates of the Caribbean. Where the heck? Maybe those are all the troopers I had. And if it is, oh, hey, there's a stormtrooper, which again, it's like a couple dollars. Like a lot of these are, I understand that there's let's say for these common trooper running, which, yeah, not the most exciting thing, but it's $1.50. I'm sorry, $1.60. And there's 1,900 of these. Actually, only 1,300 of these. 876 were not minted. But I don't feel like at some point, now I get it, we don't have a ton of users here now in order to be able to, there's not enough demand for the supply. But at some point, when you have all of those really big Star Wars nerds like myself come in, they're probably going to want to get a little squad of troopers there. Now, granted, there's a lot of these stormtroopers, but I think same thing for this Death Pistol Trooper. $2.05. I'm sorry, $2.50. And there's actually only 500 of these things, which is strange. $2.50. And there's only 500 of these. Now, again, there's a bunch of these. Like there's like 3 different versions of this. But yeah, in my opinion, this is probably going to be a decent thing that I could picture these going for like $5 or $7 in the future. Hey, Zombie saying, yo, what up, Zombie? How's it going, fam? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Where we at? All right, anyway, So VeVe newbie was going on and just, I think wrongly asserting that we had this, like, we never got any more Simpsons collectibles after the first drop. Like, what do you think Century 21 Fox did? Do you think they just gave us the rights for 2 weeks, let us do a drop, and then took away the rights? No, there's multiple reasons probably why you're not seeing a bunch of new Disney stuff. One, yeah, there, out of the dozens of Disney licenses that we had, which include Marvel, we have new Marvel drops, literally multiple Marvel drops every week. But aside from Marvel, again, Century 21 Fox, where we got the Simpsons Golden Moments, and that was the only Simpsons we had. Maybe that license lapsed. I don't know. But again, there's dozens of Disney licenses within that company. Like, do you think David just meets with one Disney executive and like that's it? No, that this dude meets with dozens, if not 100+ Disney executives, all of which have different licenses. So I'm going to say that, yeah, a couple of them have probably lapsed. I will also say that there's probably, in my opinion, again, you can't be talking to how many hundreds of licenses do we have? I'm sure most of them are great. I'm sure most of them are awesome, easy to work with. I'm sure that they're perfect. But I'm also sure that probably one or two are not that easy to work with. And it's like, you know what? Not worth it doing this drop because that's what we promised. That's what we told everyone. And that's it. Not what we're going to do again. Now, I can't say whether those are one. I can't say if any of the license experiences have been like that, but just law of averages. If you have a couple hundred licenses, there's probably going to be 1 or 2% in there that are very difficult to work with. And seeing as Disney has a ton of licenses, I can imagine that maybe one of them is probably like that. So again, here I'm just trying to go in and see why we wouldn't have certain drops. But again, Disney is not just Disney. Disney is made up of a giant corporation, giant conglomeration of a bunch of different licenses. And yeah, 1 or 2 have probably lapsed. 1 or 2 are probably not that easy to work with. The others, it's like, hey, let's wait until the bull run comes back. And this way, instead of wasting a first appearance or wasting this character or this cool pose, like for example, Jurassic Park. We had that license for 2 years before we did anything with it. Why? I wanted to wait for the movie. That was it. They wanted to wait for the movie. And I could only imagine that a couple of the Disney licenses are probably like that too. Hey, we're still good, but we want to wait for this movie. We want to wait for this event. Again, this is all speculation here, just operating off of conjecture. This is coming from that VeVe Newbies post. It's just something I thought that should be talked about. Got it back. What do we get back? Hey, you're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep it down. You're the best around. Listen to that sound. A little bit of all you got will never bring you down. Sorry, buddy of mine just did something. Zora says, when did VeVe have the most users? Are we close to passing that yet? Not even close. Most users was, well, it depends how you define a user. VeVe defines it as somebody that has at least one collectible in their wallet and is actively doing stuff, buying, selling. In 2020, late 2021, early 2022, 1 million users. There was hundreds of thousands. Granted, most of those were bots. It's dead internet theory all over again. Dead internet theory is the, well, now it's like a fact that like, oh, but you know, 8 years ago it was a theory. Like, I think most of the internet is bots. And yeah, it turned out to be true. In 2021, 2022, that kind of showed itself in VeVe, where you pick any random user that was out there that had a collectible in there or not, collectible in there, it was probably a bot. Like dollars to donuts, not dollars to donuts, but we had a lot of actual people, but you also had one person with like 12 cell phones, all of which had different accounts. And yeah, that's what happened. Like everyone was, not everyone. I never used any bots. Swear on the Dashi. Never used any bot. Never used any type of cheat glitch thing. Which I don't want. Like if you like, people did like Clockgate, people did different things, and people did whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actually like putting in a bot in order to guarantee you the drop. I never did that. I would say, I don't know, 3 out of every 4 users were bots, maybe 2 out of every 3. But yeah, that was a big thing. So depending on how you identify the user is going to depend on how many we had at any given point. The colleague says, I'm a bot. Sleeping is so smart, and this is what kills me. So remember in Rocky 3, at the end of it, where they were going on and on, like Apollo Creed was going on about how after he trained Rocky, he's like, after this, you're gonna owe me a favor. And then Rocky was like, what favor? At the end, like they have this glorified sparring match because in the end of the last movie in Rocky 2, Rocky wins by 1 second. And Apollo, as they're getting ready to fight, he's like, last time, Balboa, you beat me by 1 second. That's very hard for a man of my intelligence to handle. I like to view myself as someone as at least with above average intelligence, and sleeping is smarter than me in, I'm going to say, most of the ways that you can be smarter. And I know he jokes about it, but when people say, when they're joking, half of what they say is true. He jokes about how his kids are, that he is considered dumb compared to his kids. And I know he's probably at least half joking. The next generation, a lot of times, yeah, they good technology, better teachers, better whatever. I don't think he's really all that joking. If let's say average intelligence is, I don't know what, IQ of 105, 100 whatever, and let's say I'm like 130, and let's say sleeping is like 150, his kids are probably like genius level, like, I don't know, 160, 170. I mean, maybe, I don't know. That does, I don't want to say keeps me awake at times, but again, I fancy myself as I accomplished a lot. I've done a lot. I can, everyone I know hates math except for me. And I love math. I'm very good at a lot of things. And sleeping is arguably so much better at me at so many things. And if he tells me that his kids make him look like an idiot, what the heck am I? So I'm not gonna lie, I think about that a little bit more than I should. Anyway, Justin Pena, 2000, saying sleeping, cyborg maybe, meow meow meow, meow 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 meow. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. I think my IQ as well. Okay, so let's say mine's 124. And then his kids are maybe 150 plus. I mean, good for the next generation, and I'm glad they're sleeping's kids. I'm glad, like, I don't know if I'd be able to handle a kid that had a 150 IQ. I don't know. How do you raise that? How do you what happens when you try to come out something like, hey, I think you should do this, and the kid says, well, actually, Dad, and it's like, how do you argue if they're right? How do, like, I don't know how to navigate that. That's thankfully I don't have kids. I don't have to deal with that, at least not right now. Anyway, let's keep on going here. We've got some things. Oh yeah. Anyway, I bring all of this up, and I take a look at, okay, Disney golden moments. There's like what, 50 golden moments? Actually, let's call in a specialist. Call in VeVe Magic. It's a Monday, so we're going to assume she's not going to answer because Mondays are very busy. Mondays are very busy for people. When I was in high risk lending, you never wanted to call your client on a Monday. Why? Because that's your busiest day. You definitely don't want to call them before 12 o'clock. Okay, the call was forwarded because, again, she's busy. Anyway, scooch over here. Scooch over there. The reason I was calling it is because I think there were about 50 golden moments in real life, and we got like a dozen. So when the platinum moments came out, and there's a lot of platinum moments, and we got same thing, like a dozen, I thought like, oh yeah, same as the VeVe golden, the Disney golden moment. There's a lot of them. We only got this amount. Same thing. Other people were saying like, oh no, it's because we lost the licenses. I don't think that's true. But when going over that, it got me thinking, why didn't the like all the golden moments sold out? Now, obviously, because the golden moments came out 2021, except for the Valentine's Day ones that came out in February 2022, and yeah, either way, that came out at a different time. Platinum moments came out like a couple years later, and things weren't that good. The bull market wasn't there anymore. Everything's on the decline, and that's likely why most people thought like, okay, a lot of these didn't sell out. Also because a lot of the golden moments were a little bit old school. I'm gonna rustle some jimmies here. Simpsons are almost 40 years old. They're not necessarily new. They're not. I mean, yeah, some of them are recent, but yeah, this started in the 80s. Then you have Star Wars, started in the 70s. You have obviously the partner statue. You have a bunch of. They're all old school stuff, and they've had 50 something years in order to, get stuff done, and have people fall in love with them. A lot of the platinum moments. Now you have your exceptions. You have your Minnie Mouse. You have your Dumbo, but a lot of the other ones, like, okay, yeah, Woody's 30 years old, sure. Nemo is not. Finding Nemo is not 30 years old. It's close. I think it's 20 years now. Miguel from Coco, I think. I don't even think that's 10 years old. There's a lot of newer licenses. Also, it's like, well, you had a platinum Mickey and you had a platinum, Donald Duck. You know what? And yeah, they did well. They sold out. Okay, well, why aren't they, higher than the, there's less editions. They should be higher than the other golden moments. Why aren't they? Well, a lot of the platinum moments were not first appearance. You have Minnie Mouse, sure. You have your Dumbo, also sure. But a lot of the other ones, they were not first appearances. Elsa, love her, not first appearance. Sleeman says, you take it to chess tournaments at age 6 and win money. Do you bet on them? Like, is there like now me, I would go there and just I'd be drinking. I'd be like, oh, like, obviously you can't be talking stuff, but I'd be drinking. I'd be having a good time. I'd be like silently cheering, although you probably embarrass the kids if you do that. Is there a gambling thing? Can you bet on them? I don't have kids. I'd go 20 on that one. Heck yeah, living vicariously. Heck yeah. Take care. Being with a thumbs up. Jason Pena saying the first appearance of Sims is 87. Oh my God. Yeah. Again, almost 40 years old. You think DEVVE's partner could be the New York Stock Exchange? Yeah, I think it's possible. If it's not foreign and if it's American, then yeah, it's either NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange. That's if it's an American stock exchange partner. It could be foreign. We're not sure yet. See the link that DEVVE put out for the new wallet? I did not. All right, let's take a look at the. I'll get back to this, I swear. Is it from the DEVVE ecosystem? Because I am not seeing a. Give me a link to where that was announced, because the DEVVE ecosystem has not posted anything since January. And the Dev Exchange, same thing since January. So Uncle Randy taking action at the chess tournaments. Yeah, pretty much. That is what I do sometimes. No, they play against other adults. Everyone puts in money. Oh, okay. That's dope. I would be like Hustler Kid from Recess, and I'd be betting winger dingers and stuff. You know what? I know that wasn't a real candy or a real like sandwich bar, but those always look good to me. Or it was in Telegram a few days ago. Okay. In which case I probably did. A new wallet. I don't think was it in the dev announcements? My DMs are a mess. Our dev official group. FIAS announcements. No, not there. Force. I'm trying to look at. All right, DEVVE announcements. Okay. Designs. Problem. I do not see one about a wallet. Came from, oh, sorry, yeah, I have not seen one about a wallet. Autumn, I love you, but I'm going to get to you later. Oh, okay, wait, no, that's a platform. Yeah, if you can send me a link, let me know. Anyway, let's continue on with the story. So I take a look at the first appearances in the Disney Platinum moments. I take a look at Minnie, because I think it's Planet Vampire that has 67 of these, which is bananas. And, there's 2,100 of her, which first appearance Minnie and a Platinum moment, for the 100-year anniversary, like that's, now this is first appearance Minnie because it's the first 3D high-end, collectible on the blockchain. But we had her first appearance technically in the lenticular cards. I don't know if anyone's really going to consider that a first appearance because it is a first edition. Still technically a first appearance, but, not my... I think most people would consider this the first appearance, me included. Oh, sorry. Stretching out the back. And 2,100 of her, and again, these came out in March of 2023. There's probably a decent amount of her that are no longer there because people got them no longer active. And these came out at $60, the Platinum moments, and her. Dude, that's dope. Yeah, kids really be making money at chess tournaments. That's great. Dude, God bless America. God bless chess, man. Anyway, the VeVe floor price on these, they started off at $60. That's what you can mint them for. On VeVe, they're $66. Stacker, this is one of the very few cases where Stacker is actually more expensive than VeVe. $82. And then I took a look, and I was like, oh, a 2-digit. Number 81's out there. For $109. That is less than double the price of the floor. That's less than double the price of what it started at. So I want it. Because the next double digit is number 79 for 4 million OMI. And this one you get for less than $1 million. So I do want it. I do want it. But I also know there's 59 of these. And minis don't sell a lot. Last time one sold, which I imagine was Planet Vampire. No, it was actually on the 12th. Before then, the 7th, then the 4th. And what are these selling? And a lot of them are selling for $60, $59, $85. Okay, there's actually, honestly, this might be a good deal. I might have to buy it. I don't know. I just feel like, I'm trying to get another partner statue, but every time I get like a couple $100, I spend it. And this is just going to be another one of those things where it's like, probably partner statue probably best. They got rid of glass block. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. That's the DEVX platform. Take down glass block, only refactor everything using AI. You can now go into DEVX.io to see a simplified wallet application. I did go over it the other day. It's the first step in our overall progression toward the future of DEVX. We wanted to get current system into a stable place, and now we are pushing forward in an exciting new overall direction. I expect that in a short amount of time, a few months, will be in place where everything is running in a more optimal way. Applications in DEVX will be easier to build, and new features will be dramatically faster to implement. Excited about what 2026 is going to bring for DEVX, and I'm going to be giving an update on the new long-term vision I see for DEVX in the next couple of weeks. We love it. It's awesome. I have to get back to a message real quick. My friend's in Vegas right now, and that is hysterical. Part of the party that I could not go to. Okay, so I want to get the number 81 mini for less than twice, but it's just, they don't sell a ton. And I don't have one in general, and I should get one. And it's only double the price of the floor. But it's almost 1 million OMI. And I'm not gonna lie, I want to I should just do it, right? Should just do it. But if I want to get another partner statue, which let's type this out. Partner statue, I think was 950, and then OMI went up, so it's probably over 1,000 again. 976, 8 million OMI, which of course, after you do, what do you call it? The pay that extra percent, it's going to be $1,000 anyway. If I ever see a bunch of these go for like 6 million, like if there's like this one guy just liquidating everything, and he's just got like 8 of them up there for 6 million each, I'm sweeping that floor and I'm buying them all. Now, whether you get it here at 976, $1,200, 850 is not that big of a difference, right? Like it, especially when you think that in another year they could be, I don't know, what, 5K a piece. I think we just need to get a bunch of different, just need more users. And how do you get that? I don't know. ETH going up definitely helps. That definitely helps a lot. Like, let's take a look at what, let's go on OpenSea. VFriends. VFriends actually down today. That's a down 0.2%. Oh God, bless me. Whew. All right, let's do the Pudgy Penguins. They're down 1 ETH is up and they're down 1.8%. That almost never happens. Let's try Moonbirds. They're up like 0.9%. They're an ETH, pretty much. Oh, that guy actually looks kind of cool. He's got the purple eyes. It looks pretty dope. Red eyes. Anyway, what else let's do Mutant Apes. Down 1%. Let's do Bored Ape Yacht Club. Down 1.1%. You'd think these would go up, but they're not. Let's try Milady Makers. Down 2.6%. Okay, all right, yeah. And NFTs are not having a good day, despite ETH going up, which is interesting. Bitcoin's still at 75K. It's at 2350. It's up 8.5%. I'm gonna have to reassess this. Now it's only one day, but I definitely would like that sucks. No. Sorry. Buddy of mine had to do something not fun, and that doesn't sound fun, but it's okay. All right, yeah, I stand corrected. I figured a bunch of the NFTs that are measured in ETH would go up since ETH went up, but unfortunately that was not the case. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the news we had over the last few days. BlackRock staked Ethereum ETF launched the other day on NASDAQ. It was massive. That might be one of the reasons why. Also, I'm level 82. Also, in the background, you see Street Fighter Sakura. Bro. What the heck happened? Okay. I think it was just overshadowed by Aang. I went live for the Ang drop. I pulled 4 times, did not get a secret rare. So that sucked. But they sold 1,006, so they made $40,000. Okay, not bad, not bad. But yeah, I didn't. So making $40,000 on that is cool. Sakura though, bro, like she's a fan favorite. Now, is she Chun-Li? No, nobody's Chun-Li. But again, she's a fan favorite, and I know that unfortunately, yeah, her OG outfit is the one that was a secret rare. Would have done better if it was a common, but I understand why they couldn't do that. The common and rare sold less than $20 each. Secret rare obviously sold out. So secret rare making 20K. Cool. That's dope. Love that. What does the common and rare go? $40 and $50? That is less than $2,000 for the common and the rare combined. Now, we know there's active users on the app. We gained more users this week. There's another, what I put in here? Another couple hundred users. I know give me one sec here. Yeah, another almost 400 users this week, 383. We're getting hundreds of users per week. But damn, Sakura, that makes me. Now, I loved Street Fighter growing up. A lot of my friends that were guys did as well. Maybe like 1 or 2 girls that I knew enjoyed it, but it is a guy's thing, whereas Avatar is an everybody thing. Street Fighter is kind of a boys' game, mostly. And yeah, I feel like that, but that was just, And I feel like because of the fact that you had RoboCop do really well, Darth Vader, like you've had a bunch of these editions of older franchises in the 70s and 80s that just went gangbusters. You'd think that Street Fighter, and granted, the first few Street Fighters also did amazing, but yeah, this one, I don't know. I figured with the older franchise, that's generally what we see here with the older audience, would have done really well. But yeah, that damn. And honestly, Sakura's going for less than she was on the drop. Let me go to VeVe. By the way, there's an update for VeVe. I misspelled Sakura. That is my bad. The update for VeVe just says minor fixes and improvements. So again, she was $80. People are selling her for $72. And then over on the stacker, really? Selling for like 65, which is wild. Nintendo drop and we'll get new users, and if it does well, Pokemon within a year after. Yeah, $500 million in crypto shorts were liquidated over the last 24 hours. But yeah, well, I don't know how well Nintendo by itself. I mean, it depends what it is. Like, if we get, well, Pac-Man would do well. It depends on the license. If you get, let's say, like Earthbound, right? Let's say you get Ness, you get Lucas, you get the items like the baseball bat, the yo-yo. Let's say you get a couple of things from Earthbound. Nintendo, characters big enough to be in Super Smash Brothers. And I'd buy them because it was kind of annoying in Super Smash Brothers and very annoying to use, like impossible to use in Saffron City because of all the tall buildings. You can't use his up B attack. But yeah, that's not the biggest license. And some people played that game. Actually, a lot of people, but I don't know how many people here have played that. I'd get him just because, you know, part of that Super Smash Brothers thing, right? But if you get that, I don't know how many people here are going to be pumped to get like Ness and Lucas and his hat and his shorts and the baseball bat and yo-yo. Like, I don't know how many people are going to be pumped to get that. Now, you get, use the Hellfire shirt. You get Kirby? You get Kirby up in this bitch? Sold out. Yoshi, sold out. Mario, sold out. Link, I would hope sold out. Star Fox, I have him on my body. I wanted to be a pilot because of this game. Not the reason I joined the Air Force, totally different thing, but I would buy the heck out of him. Most other people, probably not. Donkey Kong that you can't tell is over here. I'd like to think he'd sell out. Pokemon, yeah, 100% sold out. The ones that I might worry about would be Zelda, Star Fox, Donkey Kong. I'm selling out. Because honestly, maybe even Kirby's like one of my favorites, but it's going to depend on the license, because like clearly with Street Fighter, like even within, so again, even within Street Fighter, same thing with Nintendo. Ryu, Ken did well. Chun-Li, not as well, but you know, her secret rare is going above retail. Sakura, yeah. I guess people just don't like, maybe they don't know her story. I'm curious to see what happens if we get M. Bison, if we get Blanca, if we get E. Honda, Dalsim, like what happens if we like Cammy? Fuck. Like what happens if you, maybe people are just shitting on Sakura. Maybe they're just like, I don't like Sakura. Ryu fanboy. She's so cool though. I don't like it because she's like a schoolgirl and it's just not, you know, not relatable enough. I don't know. Because yeah, those numbers were, people were just not connecting with Sakura. Now, granted, she followed Avatar, which is a $40,000 day for them. And then again, her secret rare did sell out, but that did seem to be a lot of people that were looking to flip. So yeah. I would have to say how they react to this and how they go about giving, and what would be the next one. Like Blanca's fun. Love Blanca. M. Bison would be cool. Both M. Bisons. Comment down below if you get the reference. And any again, who's the ones that people most use? Well, I honestly kind of Ryu. I know they're the mains, but like I use Dalsim because he was like freaking Luffy, just Rubber Man, just punch you from across the room. It was great. Blanca's cool, and he's got a fun story. E. Honda's also cool. There's just so many of them. Like Zagat is just hard. He was so hard to beat. I don't know, but again, Nintendo's going to be the same thing. Even within Nintendo, even within Pokemon, like how many people are going to rush and go for Rattata? Like, yeah, Rattata, favorite. Now he's very memeable because you have Joey with his comfortable shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear. Got a top percentage Rattata. And then yeah, he's one of the first Pokemon that you kill. You kill Gary's Raticate. Cool. Yeah. Again, he's memeable. He's actually a very good, useful Pokemon. One, he's a good HM slave. Two, especially in Gen 2, Super Fang. Great. He's quick. A lot of time he goes first. I like, but I just, again, use that as an example. Let's say like Tangela. You know, we have a bunch of, let's say we have a really boss Pokemon come out first, and then we get Tangela. I'll get Tangela because you got to catch them all. As a Pokemon master, I've got to catch them all. But are people going to be pumped for Tangela? No, they're not. Internet Hokage thing. I think the fact that VeVe is part of a lot of mainstream IP and IP holders marketing method is really impressive. I think. IP holders very rarely market for VeVe. Like they don't. Disney did a couple times. Marvel did as a retweet once or twice, but most of the IPs actually have very little to do with marketing because they just don't. The heck? AI. Okay. What? No. Sorry. Ask someone to do that. Yeah, he'd be dope. He'd be cool. 14 FUF98 saying, "Hey fam, ever hear from Mr. Pags? Wonder if the old OG VeVe fam will ever come back once the narrative hits, like NFT Pirate, the guy with the glasses that has a third eye. Forgot his name. I was like Dino, LOL. Depends. Mr. Pags, anytime he's on, like people want to see him. He's a very divisive person. I assume people will be like, okay, that's like. Remember in Dark Knight Rises, where you have these two guys talking about, oh, Bruce Wayne's back? What do you think that means? Good or bad? I'm betting bad. Bet against the market. When Mr. Pags comes back, I would see it as a good sign. Good. It's enough now where he at least is coming back at the very least to make money. Maybe he likes it enough. Like, yeah, it's cool again. Maybe likes it because, yeah, I get attention again. Makes me look good in front of the wife, the kids, etc. People know my name. They think their dad's a celebrity. But at the very least, it's going to be because he can make some money. So I would say anyone that comes back, it's probably a good thing because they're there to make money. NFT Pirates has commented on VeVe a couple of times. He actually messaged me today. And I looked at one of the last things he posted. I can find it. Because he only really retweets other people's stuff. But he did make a post back in February saying, how much longer can NFT critics ignore VeVe official now that self-custody and interoperability are coming? Spider-Man, Batman, Superman first appearances are sitting right here. This is either the best kept secret in digital collectibles or people simply don't want to believe what they've been hoping for is finally here. How often have major influencers like Logan or Gary alluded to this platform? It just feels so obvious, especially with these tiny edition sizes to satisfy a global population. Maybe it's just a matter of time, a wait and watch moment until others connect the dots. Don't let temporary doubt shake long-term conviction. All opinion, of course, but it's hard to see physical cardboard remaining dominant in an era defined by technological acceleration. Like, it makes no sense. This cardboard, bro, it's shiny and old. This feels like peak opportunity to be buying into digital, in my opinion. Seeing the TCG craze of people going nuts over cards has been mind-boggling. When asking why this card is so expensive, people are like, it's the art, bro. The art is so good, despite literally millions of copies. Stack that up against something like an MC1 secret rare with only 600 copies. First Marvel comic on the blockchain, and tell me where you'd rather put your money. So again, this is a month ago that he had said this. I'm sure he bought and sold a bunch of stuff back in the day, right? He was trading on a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I'm back. So I wouldn't say that. He'll definitely become more active because, again, as this goes up, everyone will come back in. But again, it depends the reason why they're there. The guy with the glass that has the third eye, I forget his name too. I bought his OMI like 2 years ago, I think. He never had that much, but I bought it from him. Forget his name too. Guys like Dino. Guys like Dana, you're gonna have a really interesting thing happen if someone like him were to come back. Because like kind of being, and I don't want to air out any dirty laundry here, but I'm just gonna say it'll be interesting to see the community, the people's reaction that maybe feel slighted to certain things that had happened years ago. But honestly, most people that are new, they're not going to care about the transgressions of the past. They're like, oh, you like VeVe? I like VeVe. Let's talk about it, and that'll be it. That's probably going to be it for most people. Like, but I guarantee you, a lot of other people come back. A lot of new people come in, and thank you, VeVe. Saying have a great stream, Randy. I've been at it for an hour, and it's going pretty okay so far. I think we've covered a lot of good stuff here, and we'll continue to go over them. Because aside from the last couple days, because I was doing some traveling, friend's birthday, I will always be here. And better, it's what I do. Okay, very good, very good, very good. Bags did call us being here this low when he exited OMI years ago. Yeah, but he was just putting out arbitrary numbers. Same with Cavell with his bull posts. Saying like, yeah, I think OMI goes here. Like, again, there was no data behind what they were talking about. They were just, it's like, remember in like 2009, the bailouts coming out, there's that like, where did you come up with a number $800 billion? Well, it was never backed by any particular data point. We just wanted to come up with a really, really large number. Same thing that what they're doing as well. That was a big call, bear market to last beyond 2025, smart man. Again, was he right? Yes. Was him being right justified by any legitimate reasons? Go back to any of our podcasts that we have done, any of the times he was on stream, and I'll let you be the judge of that. And thank you. Oh, do we know if the collect chain is powered by OMI or is it going to be a conversion? They don't have a native token. They could have a native token if they wanted to, but that would have really been stepping on OMI's toes. So there's no way they would ever come out with a token. It's just not. Collect chain is there. Eventually, I think a lot of because again, Dr. Profit has 30 billion OMI tokens. I don't believe he's going to do something that will harm his bags, which, doesn't really need, but he does it anyway because he believes, like me, that this is the future of digital collection. I mean, AR and VR stuff is coming. I mean, a lot of it's here already, especially with AI now. There's a dude, I have to read this. Let me see where I have to send it to my friend Dan before. Love my friend Dan. He's the best. A guy named Better Call Medi. Better Call Medi has 64,000 followers over on X. And I'm going to read, good point. Thank you. And I'm going to read what he's talking about. I genuinely think this might be the most important story I've read this year, and I need to talk about it. A guy in Australia just designed a custom mRNA cancer vaccine for his dying dog using ChatGPT and AlphaFold. He has zero background in biology, and it worked. The tumor shrunk by half. The genomics researchers are absolutely stunned, and I genuinely think this story is a way bigger deal than people realize. Here's what he actually did. He paid $3,000 to get the tumor DNA sequence, fed the data to ChatGPT to identify mutations of interest, then used AlphaFold to predict the 3D structure of the mutated proteins and find therapeutic targets. Then he designed a custom mRNA vaccine targeting the specific neoantigens of his dog's tumor. All of this from his laptop, and genomics professor who received the sequencing request initially thought it was a joke. A few months later, the same professor is looking at the results saying, if we can do this for a dog, why are we not rolling this out to all humans with cancer? And this is where I need you to understand what AlphaFold actually represents, because I'm convinced most people have heard the name without grasping what's happening underneath. For decades, figuring out 3D structure of a single protein required months, sometimes years of X-ray crystallography, cryo-electron microscopy, entire labs dedicated to one molecule. AlphaFold 2 solved this by predicting the structure of virtually every known protein. That's over 200 million structures, which earned it the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 2024. But here's the thing. AlphaFold 3, released in 2024, went even further, where AlphaFold 2 predicted the structure of an isolated protein. AlphaFold 3 predicts interactions between proteins, DNA, RNA, small molecules, and ligands in a unified system. Basically, it models how a drug molecule will bind to a protein target with 50% better accuracy than the best existing tools, and it does it in hours instead of years. And that's exactly what this guy exploited for his dog. He used AlphaFold to see 3D shape of the mutated tumor proteins and figured out how an mRNA vaccine could teach the immune system to recognize and destroy them specifically. And look, what fascinates me personally is what this signals for what's coming next. Isomorphic Labs, that DeepMind's subsidiary dedicated to drug discovery, already signed a multi-billion-dollar partnership with Eli Lilly and Novartis. And the first drugs entirely designed by AI through AlphaFold 3 are expected to enter human clinical trials by the end of 2026. We're talking oncology and immunology candidates that were designed through rational design, meaning the AI literally drew the molecule to fit perfectly onto the target instead of screening millions of random compounds like we've been doing for the past 50 years. By the way, the movement is accelerating way deeper than people think. DeepMind open sourced AlphaFold 3 in late 2024. Scientific community immediately built on top of it. Models like OpenFold 3, backed by Amazon and Novo Nordisk, startups like Recursion developing specialized versions. I'm telling you that we're entering the era of an autonomous lab where the AI designs a molecule, robots synthesize it, and high throughput platforms test it with zero human intervention. I believe the next frontier is temporal modeling. Today, AlphaFold predicts the static shape of a molecule. Tomorrow, we'll predict how it evolves and vibrates over time inside a living cell. And after that, come patient digital twins, simulations that predict how your specific genetic variations will affect your response to a given drug. Truly personalized medicine at the atomic level. Traditionally, it takes about 15 years and roughly $1 billion to bring a drug from discovery to market. AI is compressing that cycle at a pace that should terrify every incumbent, and what this Australian guy just proved is that the entire pipeline, tumor sequencing target identification structure, prediction custom vaccine can be designed, executed by one person with a laptop for a few $1,000s. He continues on to say, honestly, the part that kills me is the regulatory red tape. It took him longer than designing the vaccine itself. 3 months of filling out a 100-page document just to get approval to inject his own dog. I'm deeply convinced that in 10 years, we'll look back at the story as the moment biology stopped being a descriptive science and became an engineering discipline. The moment one person armed with AI did what the biggest pharma labs on Earth couldn't do before. The question that should keep every executive at Pfizer, Moderna, Roche up tonight is pretty simple. If a guy did this for his dog from his living room, what happens when millions of people have access to the same tools for themselves and their loved ones? Dun, dun, dun. Internet Hokage says, makes sense. I'm working on a couple of AR projects, and it's only a matter of time, especially with Apple having rumors of Vision OS light powered by Apple Watch silicone in a pair of glasses. Yeah. AI is going to do, I mean, it's already done incredible things. It's already smarter than most everyone. With the exception, also, I'm going to have to go soon. My back is destroyed. With the exception of things that you specialize in. Anyway, let's get to some of the news here. AI God Trading says predictions for 2026 crypto tokens with strong revenues will do well. Agentic AI infra projects will be the main narrative. Some will pull 50 to 100 X's. Top 50 will at least have 5 or more AI related tokens. 3, layer 1s and layer 2s will underperform heavily. No reason to hold tokens with zero utility or narrative. Was just a narrative formed by VCs to sell their bags. Alt seasons won't exist anymore. Our .com bubble broke partially. Will become increasingly competitive for alts to do well, but the alts that do will skyrocket. Agreed. Somebody writes, I have a friend who's worth 8 figures. At one point, it was almost touching 9. He has never owned Bitcoin. Got a call from him this morning saying AI agents will be using crypto. I'm going in big time. I expressed my enthusiasm, but played it cool. As soon as the call ended, I realized I was shaking uncontrollably. Nobody is ready for how big this will be. I have to screenshot that again because agreed 100%. JP Morgan says long energy stocks and short the rest of the market until the Strait of Hormuz reopens. I don't know if I'd listen to that. Choose it, experience wrinkly. Yep, very good. Senate voted to ban a Federal Reserve central bank digital currency included in a bipartisan housing bill. One pain with AI. That's a resell. Okay. Is there a plan to resell the tokens for using the different models, e.g. buy bulk access from someone like Perplexity that already aggregates the big models and then let people just use FIAS as a single currency to whichever models they use as part of their arch? Tom says, yeah, the one pain with AI platforms is needing to get many different subscriptions. You pay for them, then don't use all your credits, and then when you do get into a project, run out of credits, it's a pain getting 5 subscriptions for 5 companies. In FIAS, in contrast, you'll be able to use the FIAS token for everything. There are over 20 image models, and we won't resell from aggregators. We'll just give direct access to the models. You can run multiple models at the same time to hone in on what you're trying to do without getting a subscription to all the various companies, and you pay for what you use. We'll have credits to make things simple for people that just want to have a credit card purchase and no crypto, but the FIAS token will be the cheapest and most flexible option. Very good. On March 12th, 2020, Bitcoin crashed from 8,000 to 3,800 during the Rona panic. Everyone said crypto was dead, and now it's 75K. Kim Kardashian was spotted opening packs of Pokemon cards with Steve Aoki. Love Steve. Talked to him in Discord once. Cool guy. Tom Lee's Bitmine bought $61 million worth of Ethereum on March 12th. Someone swapped $50 million USDT for 36,000 AVE on Ethereum. He lost $50 million in seconds. That is insane. Yep, Avatar. Oh crap, been revealed that students at Old Dominion University who beat the terrorist to death without guns, quote, saying, there were students that were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive. I don't know how else to say it, but they basically were able to terminate the threat, end quote. Heroes. Anyone else lose money on the Josh Emmett fight this weekend? No, just me. Okay. Rough times. Rivian revealed the specs using pricing details for its pivotal R2 SUV on Thursday, and the company also finally answered a long-burning question. When will the customers be able to buy the promised $45,000 base model? Short answer is late 2027, according to the company press materials, and there's a catch. The language Rivian uses now that the base model R2 will be starting around $45,000. That's a notable change from how the company was recently promoting that R2 would be starting at $45,000 on its website. Tesla for the win. If you didn't buy Tesla back in the day, your fault. BlackRock ETF bought $46 million in Bitcoin on March 12th. HSB Standard chartered to get stablecoin licenses in Hong Kong. BlackRock bought 1.1 billion in Bitcoin since the US-Iran war had started. Institutions are buying Bitcoin during the highest times of uncertainty. To go. Canada's economy lost 83,000 jobs in February, almost 84,000. A guy named OMI Boy says 3 intersecting charts that show the situation in the ecosystem. Typing in Akomi versus OMI was wild. Foster says, out of curiosity, why do you think people would be searching for Akomi over the term OMI? I think that in almost any context, whether it be to learn about, buy, or utilize a token in an ecosystem, that OMI would be the better gauge. I should also clarify, I'm not saying that this is good by any means, and I look forward to when people start to want to look in and engage in the ecosystem more. But as someone who works for the company, I can't even remember the last time I felt the need to search Akomi. Nintendo has just filed a new patent for an AR device, allowing you to use a headset and play games in the real world. The example shows a game played on a table with the characters walking on the table. The processing power comes from a mobile device, which could be the Switch 2. That'd be great. Israel just killed Iran's top nuclear scientist a couple days ago. Not a random strike. They went straight for the brains of the program. Wild. Oh. Here's me at 14. Yeah, really look old. Care about that. Don't care about that. Billionaire Stanley Druckenmiller says the global payment system will run on crypto stablecoins within 15 years because they are more efficient. Agreed. Continue on. Peter Schiff says investors should sell Bitcoin rallies and buy gold dips. Peter, you hecked up. United States is sending approximately 2,500 Marines and 1 warship to the Middle East as per News Crypto. I don't know if I've seen that yet. I think that was a rumor. MegaCon. All right, the events that VeVe is going to. MegaCon in Orlando, Florida, March 19th to the 22nd. That's soon. Bitcoin's at 75.5. Wild. That is also wild. WonderCon in Anaheim, California, March 27th to the 29th, and C2E2 Chicago, Illinois, March 27th to the 29th as well. They say to expect a friendly atmosphere, trivia games, prizes, mementos, and plenty of great conversations with fellow collectors. And this is just the start. More meetups. Okay, so be advised, guys. Okay, we're going to learn some things about Chavez here. Anyone ever take field trips in middle school? Philadelphia, Washington, Baltimore. One year, there was nobody can go to anything because of 9/11, but aside from that, shows you how old I am. There's the official school trips, right? Go here, go there, and then there's the unofficial school trips, where they take place the same time as the normal school trips. You have your dedicated stuff that you're supposed to do to learn and get cultured. And then there's what you actually do. And what you actually do, it's not for everyone. A little more fun, though. What happens when VeVe collectors meet in real life? Well, according to VeVe, and this is true, there's trivia battles, digital collectibles giveaway, collectors sharing stories and passions, and I do all that. That's fun. But there's another side of these, like go to Comic-Con, right? VeVe's at Comic-Con every year. At the con, it's great. There's cosplays and there's artists and there's panels and there's lines and everyone's catching up. And maybe someone gets a little crazy and they have a daddy soda, right? They have a little beer. Oh yeah, it just takes the edge off of the crowds because it's crowded as fudge at Comic-Con. Then there's the after parties. Then there's VeVe after parties too. And those are great. Anything that anyone from VeVe does is awesome. I can't say I've been to all of them, but I've been to a lot of different things that both VeVe does and other things that people from VeVe put on. And they're great. They're a lot of fun. A lot of times you would say fun for the whole family. And if anyone from Disney is watching, that is 100% true. Everything that VeVe does officially and unofficially with everyone that works there, 100% family fun, no lies detected. But then at Comic-Con or any type of event, whether VeVe or not VeVe, stuff gets wild. Stuff can get wild if you want to go to that thing, which I always do. You have your PG events, and then you have your PG-13 slight R events, and then you have your very R-rated events, and they're all great. They're all awesome. So again, if you want the trivia battles and you want the family fun, friendly, lovey-dovey, I love that too. I go to those things. They're fun, and I love my peeps. But if you want to get down, like if you want to go crazy, there are those events too. You let me know, and we'll get that bread together. Moving on. Cordial Goat says, hey, Chavi Cat, let's freaking go. I'll be at MegaCon on Saturday. Got ticket to meet John Cena and Jim Lee. Now, VeVe going to be there? Well, the VeVe fam, they're going to have trivia battles and discover collectible giveaways, collectors sharing stories and passions. And then they'll, depending on who's there, there might be some other stuff. But yeah, no. I unfortunately will not be there. I will be at I just did some traveling this weekend. And that's why I wasn't really around. I was not streaming in my normal place on Saturday, but I'm here now and I will be. And also my back is not okay. So I do not think I can travel at this moment. But maybe I can another time. Okay, let's move on. Nope, don't need to do that. Tom Anderson says, hey, everyone. Had an exciting design day with the new DEVX refractor. In particular, I just finished the design of the API payments for transactions. This is something we have been working on to previous version of DEVX, but now it will be baked into it from the beginning. Exciting how it could be coming together. I also tackled several other long-term issues we never were able to get into cycles to fix, but are baked in from the beginning. Now, one example, where'd I go here? One example is a global registry preventing conflicts around shards, which becomes critical as you move from first-party to third-party application. I think this iteration of DEVX is going to be so heckin' powerful. Trump administration is getting a $10 billion fee for brokering the TikTok deal. Investors paid $2.5 billion at close and will pay the rest over time. Typical investment bank fees are less than 1%. Trump just turned the U.S. government into the highest paid deal maker in history. Mr. Hulk 181 has taken back the #1 spot for this beautiful and iconic comic, Fantastic Four #3, first appearance of the Fantastic Car. I don't know many people. All right, hold on. Be advised, if you type in Fantastic Four #3, you're going to get first Fantastic Four #3 annual, and you don't want that. You can if you want, but that's not what we're talking about here. You want Fantastic Four #3. This cover, because it's of the car, which I don't think anyone really, like, I have a couple of these. I got them for $1.97, $1.85. Most of them for $1.85, but one for $1.97. And the reason why, there's not a lot of them, 2,600 of them. So I got 9 of them. And yeah, the Mr. Hulk 181 has 103. That is bananas. Excuse me. But now, go on to VeVe. Thank you. And let's do Fantastic Four Emerald Tray. And we'll search it. And we'll take a look at the Fantastic Car one. Oh, you can get the uncommon for $2.99 as well. Okay, $3 on the stacker. Let's do Fantastic Four #3 rare. Let's see what the rare looks like. $3.69. You know what? I'm gonna get it. I got the rare Fantastic Four #3 for $3.69. That is 2 points, 2 MCP points that you get every day for getting one of these bad boys. If you get a rare version. Whoa! I love this game. Sorry. All right, let's continue on here. Oh, Brockman Blockchain had the final price drop, 400 million OMI for the whole set of #19s. That is the Riso, the Todd, the Becky Cloonan, the other one. See how important those other two are. 2023, this would be a good deal. 2021, 2022, this would be the greatest deal of all time. 2026, I wouldn't pay for it, but I guarantee you the people that will be here in the next couple of years would have jumped on this deal if they could time travel. Because that amount of money, even though it's a lot to us, means diddly squat to people that are worth 9 figures. Bitcoin 76. I thought 75.5. Are we at 76? Hey now, hey now. This is what dreams are made of. ETH at 2364. 2364. Yeah, we're pretty much at 76. 75.9. Who doggy? Who doggy? 80 before the weekend. It's possible. Yeah, I'd say it's possible. Am I going to take bets on if it actually happens? No. Give me one sec. If you, oh my God. Sometimes investments go well. Girl, but My friends are hysterical. Okay, let's continue on, shall we? Let's shall. Bear market over. That'd be great if it was, but again, I'm not going to make any bets on it. Probably not. Yeah, I would say not. $390 was spent on an 1840 penny black. Mint number 1840. Mint numbers still mean a lot, people. I want this mini. It is a heckin' sub 100 first appearance mini mouse for 110 doll hairs. 111 doll hairs. I guess OMI has gone up in the last couple of minutes. It's up 8% to 0001255. Realistically, what price can OMI get to this year or next? Maybe 1 cent if we're lucky, question mark. It depends. If the bear market is over and we get a digital collectibles narrative this year, goes crazy. Yeah, 1 or 2 cents probably. If it doesn't happen this year, then yeah, probably looking at next year. 1 or 2 cents probably. It's also possible that we don't hit that. It's possible that you have a, even with the sell pressure. I mean, there's a, it depends. I don't know. Some people are going to come into OMI. It depends on what happens with VeVe and how, like, no company has ever done this before. And I don't mean like digital collectibles. Obviously, VeVe is a pioneer in that. They're not relinquishing that title anytime soon. But going public on NASDAQ, which again is not necessarily confirmed. I don't like that they had delayed it, which I don't know whose fault that was. I don't know what possible reason that they had been delayed in their merger with Orange Cloud. But then when they gave us an update about it, saying both sides are still committed to that, that was 2 weeks ago, where they gave us the update. And it's like, okay, you know what? Do we get another update? Because again, we had an Orange Cloud press release today talking about another merge. Now, is that not another merger? Another partnership with another company? Is that the work of David and Dan? Is that them setting themselves up for success as soon as this merger takes place? I don't know. Because the press release didn't do much for the stock, really anything. If the company becomes like really big, again, because it already has been, yeah, the token should do awesome as well, especially because that's how you buy a bunch of their collectibles on the secondary. That's where you get the best prices. So yeah, I mean, if VeVe, let's say, you know, let's say things are, or like it seems like they're doing great. It seems they have money. They're going to get access to a couple $1 million when the reverse merger does happen, if it happens. Seems they're doing well, but let's say they're not. Let's say stuff falls apart for them. Let's say the market decides that they're not worth what, you know, they think they're worth. Then you could have, even with the digital collectibles narrative, you could see a lot of sell, or you could see a lot of people going in and really sell on those pumps, and maybe you don't get above, you know, 0025. But if the opposite happens and VeVe goes gangbusters and they're worth a couple $2 billion again, then yeah, this overshoots, this overcorrects, and I don't know, 5 cents. But again, like, it's anywhere in between. Like, we don't know what. I mean, I wish I had my crystal ball, you know. Fortunately, Dashi does not give me those predictions. Yep, Harry Potter magic. Yep. Now let's see what else we got going here. Put that back on there. Yep. Anyway, bet's not paying off. BlackRock's ETF bought $147 million worth of Bitcoin on March 14th. what's today? Today is the 16th. 383 people made their first purchase last week versus 296 making their first purchase the week prior. So we got almost another 400 users. Transactions is a lot as well. There was never a day since March 3rd where we had under 5,400 transactions. Now, granted, there hasn't been a day where there's been over 7,993, but it's still steady. The Fed is going to inject $53.8 billion into the economy over the next 3 weeks. Avatar did great. An address with a balance of 11 million USDT was frozen. That's insane. Oh, friend. Mint 2005 Avatar Aang was sold for like $5,500. Again, the Mint 2005 was sold for $5,500. That's a lot. Oh, my back. Oh, my other back. The man, the myth, the legend, Randy. Yes, yes, we love it. Bitcoin at $76,000. We love that too. I am not looking at a couple of comics right now, and I'm not loving what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing a lot of undervalued stuff. I bought most of it, but I will continue on my quest to buy more. I'll let you know what I buy. But first, I want to talk about Aang. All I have to do, you can't search for Aang in the stacker. What you have to do is you have to go to Aang in your collectibles on stacker. Oh, hey, look, Aang Airbender. Let's click on him. $14. There's 1,000 of them. That is not a lot. That is not a lot, my friend. Let me take a look at Aang. Secret Rare. 263 on VeVe. 2.2 million OMI, which is 277. I did say he'd be about 300 to 500, so I was a little off. Oh, we hit number 14 for 450. First one's 11, right? Anyway, that's what you can get, the secret rare. I don't know if I'll really get that. And how many of the secret rare are there? Well, let's see what we got here. Editions. Oh, right now there's only 93 editions. Damn. Only 93 of those. I don't think these are going to burn, right? Yeah, I don't think these burn. They're going to stay out here forever. Forever. It says 0 burned edition, so I guess they can burn eventually. I am not. Let me go to the actual drop and see if they have. I don't think you would. Blind box and wait list, no. Delivery, no. Details, no. Editions. Yeah, I guess they could burn eventually. I don't know why you would burn these. They'd have to give you a big reason to. They don't even, at the South Pole, a young water tribe girl and her brother make an amazing discovery. You mean Sokka and Katara? Katara's being the girl, Sokka being the boy. Could have name dropped them, but you know, it's whatever. Anyway, VeVe Meister made a post that him and his son watched the first episode of Last Airbender, so I guess VeVe's responsible for people getting into this amazing show. I can't believe that getting first appearance Aang, and again, like, this is, I do want to save my money for Toph. Where the heck am I here? I'm trying to read the blog. Pairing first ever, okay. Can't believe there's only 61 episodes. I could have thought there was a lot more. Kind of collectible, pipeline unfolds, it mirrors itself. Let's just explore. Each character connects Aang as relationships, interactivity, into the narrative. All right, as new characters enter the platform, they unlock new possibilities for Aang. Collectors can build different elemental versions tied to his mastery of air, water, earth, and fire. Over time, those versions can be combined through crafting to create the ultimate expression of his journey, the avatar state. There's a genuine delight from the, okay, I don't care. Character, elemental themes, Pooch. Okay, I feel like there was, okay, long-term collaboration, not a one-time drop. It's a year-long release that the journey unfolds from February through December. So maybe we get it the next one in like 2 months. Each release is treated as the first appearance on VeVe, reinforces a significant moment. Scarcity is carefully balanced to support both accessibility and long-term value. Crafting paths are clear, purposeful, and tied directly to the story. Collection is designed to reward commitment. Collectors who stay with the journey. Yeah, I just don't see how they're going to make more of these. It sounds like I'm reading this and it sounds like these are it. You have these and that's it. No more. So I think getting common Aang at $14, even though only half of them are minted right now, I just long term, I don't see how that's a bad bet. Ow, mother flapper. My back is hurting too bad. Ugh, it's rough. Yep, we were at 76K for a minute for Bitcoin. Ethereum Foundation sold 5,000 ETH worth $10 million to BitMine via OTC on March 14th. The Hulu is being stupid and they canceled the Buffy reboot. I'm very salty about that. But that is what happened. And do nothing. Week 27, Eno is number 1. Samal 14 is number 2. And Matthew is number 3. They are the people that had the 8.8 million points earned. Week 27 saw 442 million OMI spent on the Stacker World Marketplace with 634,000 points. Congrats to them. Draco. Aang 2005 secured. Grail Hunt complete. Just locked Aang 2005. For me, 2005 is the anchor year. Thanks first appearance year. And the most historic number you can put on this character. This one is a forever place for the museum. Huge shout out to everyone who helped along the way. He got it. Then some guy named Gold Quest paid 35 million OMI or $4,000 for Harley Quinn Ultra Rare. Wild stuff. Phil Nice says, here's my Aang army from VeVe official. Can't wait to do this when VeVe releases Naruto. Maybe one day. Evan Hurst says, sharing this here because VeVe was a massive catalyst in my collecting journey. This is the book I have the most copies of on VeVe digital collectibles, and I'm floored to have such a significant physical copy. My wife doesn't care, but I know y'all will appreciate it. Incredible Hulk number 181, first appearance of the Wolverine. Oh my God. Hold on 1 second. Ah, very good, very good. Have you applied for the VeVe affiliate program yet? Getting started is easy. Even one post, one story, one interaction sharing your affiliate link can make a difference. Affiliate partners receive a full library of ready-to-use exclusive videos and images, exclusive link and $10 gem offers for new users, free comic and collectible offers for new users, dedicated support team ready to help whenever you need it, and plenty of commission opportunities waiting for you. Apply now to become a partner. Let's build something great together. Link down below if you haven't done so yet. Also, you don't need this. You could just do the friend get friend program. $5 for each one. You don't need to go through trying to apply. You can if you want to. That is up to you. Also, the Marvel Dog Series 1. I know that didn't do too well, but those things are very scarce. And I want one. I got the pizza dog because I love him, and the other ones I didn't get. But yeah, those are very scarce. Okay. U.S. Energy Secretary says that Iran conflict will end in the next few weeks. After that, oil supply will go up and energy prices will dump. I hope so. I saw Hoppers this weekend. It's pretty good. 8 out of 10 would recommend. 7.5 out of 10 would recommend. I still recommend it. Tether CEO Paolo Ardoino says his AI team will release a true breakthrough this coming week. Interesting. Wow, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Pokemon Go players train 30 billion image AI map. Niantic says photos and scans collected through Pokemon Go and its AR apps have produced a massive data set of more than 30 billion real-world images. The company is now using that data to power visual navigation for delivery robots, letting them identify exact locations on city streets without relying on GPS. Every new technology is greeted with moral panic. It's going to ruin everything. It's going to ruin society. It's going to ruin morality. And then especially, it's going to ruin the children. The Walkman, the calculator, rock and roll, jazz, playing cards, paperback novels. It's the same story over and over and over again. This is from Mark Andreessen. Love that guy. Dario Amodi, CEO of Anthropic, one of the world's most powerful creators of AI, has a blunt, scary warning for the US government and all of us. AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs. And we don't know if the models are conscious. That is wild. Crypto token count surpasses 37.8 million since 2023 as new projects flood the market. That is insane. All right, guys, that is it for me. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. We love you. Love you. I'm good, yeah.